Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Habanos Live Saturday or Habanos Saturday Live. Either way, I'm drinking heavily. But anyway, here we are. We're live. Welcome to the show, kids. Riz, anything you want to say to the fans before I run the intro?
Hi.
There you go. Look at the excitement we're going to have today. Here we go.
Welcome to Habanos Saturday, the fastest growing cigar show on YouTube with over 100,000 subscribers. Come join us every Saturday live.
We're live, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are as I'm sitting on the yacht as the sunrise is coming over the horizon like a gentleman. And later today, it is my 17th billion and one birthday. Scotch and cigars, Asian hookers. It's going to be phenomenal.
It was your birthday today.
Who said that?
What's the date? It's the 21st of February.
Look at you, looking at a calendar, understanding
No,
the date.
I'm looking at midair. Oh, happy birthday, Stephen.
Well, thank you very little. I appreciate it.
Make this your birthday show. Let this show be about you. I think.
No, we're good.
I think we'll make this a forum for you to make your birthday wishes.
I made all my birthday wishes, and all of them came true.
What would be your cigar wish today? What would be your cigar wish relevantly? Like today, if you could smoke any cigar in the world, which cigar would you smoke on your birthday?
On my birthday.
I mean, would it matter? But everyone has a different relationship with their birthday. But today,
there's two cigars. One would be one of our friends' cigars, who I'm not going to mention. That's like $250,000 a stick. That you have the bundle of, just because that's just like
the TV car lens.
Yeah, you got to smoke one of those. And then after that, because I would not feel guilty, I would go to one of my favorites, the Juan Lopez, any one of his regionals. I would be like, I'd be very content with the Juan Lopez regional.
Yeah, you're obsessed with that one, the connoisseur.
I have simple taste. And then, like, I know later today and tomorrow I'll be smoking some Davidoff Year of the Horses, my Diamond Crown Tampa blend. I've got some Cubans for the smoke, so I'll put them on Instagram. But yeah, so I'm very simple. Now, granted, the 50-year-old Macallan arrived, so you know what I'm going to be drinking with the 40-year-old Glenfargus. So that's the way it works. So yeah, my birthday is going to be very quiet and relaxed, and go from there. And good morning.
That's a good answer. In fact, you anticipated my next question, which was, what would you pair? The pairing, because the pairing is very important. You're obviously a whiskey person.
A Scotch person, yes. I mean, I like my Macallan and I like my Glenfargus. Yeah, I think the Glenfargus is a little distillery nobody knows about, and they make a wonderful Scotch, and Macallan everybody knows. So I like to vacillate between the both, and they're just good stuff.
Very good. And we were kind of thinking about what we were going to be talking on, what would be the topic for this show. We were talking about this earlier this week, last week. I mean, a lot of things have happened, which there's sort of like, it's a strange mixture of not having anything to talk about whilst at the same time having lots to talk about. And what I mean by this is that the Habanos Festival, which was meant to have happened in Cuba as of this coming Monday.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it's now all over the news for all sorts of reasons, including logistics reasons, but mainly correct. I mean, I think whatever's happened has happened because it was inevitable, and it's correct that it was postponed. Right. Is that Cuba has no end of blockades on it, no end of restrictions on it. From external forces, its economic conditions are not great. The people are very boisterous. They're very positive. They're looking out. I mean, but having said that, if there are major sanctions on the people and they are not able to move around or eat or all of those things that we hear, which some people have told me is total fucking nonsense. People like Usman told me that's total fucking nonsense. Right. And they'll be attending the festival, and that's really brave people.
Wait. Usman's on his way.
Hang on. I'll salute that. There are people who are still going to the festival. Usman.
Wow.
I remember Usman saying that anyone downplaying this can fuck off. We're going anyway, and I'm I'm totally humbled by that courage. I'm
Yeah.
totally humbled by the fact that people such as Usman, his friends, there are others who have still. In fact, I saw Jassim. Jassim is in Cuba. So these people said, you know, it's all crap news. It's all shit. We're going anyway, festival or no festival.
All right. Well,
And
I mean,
I'm
there'll be
enamored by.
cigars.
I'm humbled by that because I don't have the guts or balls to do things like that. If I'm told that a place is dangerous, I kind of tend to go with the flow on that.
Yeah.
So I don't
Well,
have
I
the
mean,
guts.
here's the interesting part. You know, Cigar Rabbi,
In
who we
fact, some people
always,
stake their some people stake their reputations on that.
I know,
They said that
Cigar Rabbi.
if I don't go, then you know you can count me out because I'm going. So
Oh, good for
I'm
them.
looking forward probably
You know,
sometime
the
this week,
Canadian,
next
we
week to
one of the
hearing
guys
from
in
them and
one of the
getting an
guys in
update.
one of the guys in our office watches Canadian news, and they were doing a whole report, and it doesn't look good. Cigar
I know.
Rabbi, who's been on the show, who's probably sleeping now, not up doing his job to come on the show. Cigar Rabbi was telling me that his master class, and I'm not sure if that's a baiting class or a cigar class, but it's a master of something, is going to be canceled. So there's no master baiting. I mean, master cigar class the first week of March either. So I thought
I'm
that was
getting
very
mixed
interesting.
signals here. Are things happening or things not happening?
He told me the classes were canceled, the festival is canceled,
No, there was a very
and the news release
a
came
very
out.
a very appropriately rebellious attitude towards this. Cuba forever, Cuba
Yeah,
Libre. We're gonna go there. We're gonna, you know, to hell with what everyone is saying, especially what the British government, American government, everyone is saying. We're going, and honestly, I feel I'm a little bit ashamed of myself that I kind of weakened out of it. I wish I could join these guys there. I'm sure they're having a wonderful time. I'm sure everything is normal there.
I'm sure you had no gas,
Yeah.
no power, no
Well,
food,
no,
no
these
refrigeration.
these
Fake news.
these are basically um, depending on what perspective you take. Some people are of the opinion that it's all gaslighting and all crap.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
people are saying it's very accurate and relevant. And I've asked locals; they have a very boisterous attitude, but the net result is that the festival that everyone's meant to go for
Right,
officially got postponed. We don't know till what date it got
right.
postponed. I think we're going to hear from them. And I think it's very reasonable that we haven't got a huge amount of details because it's a very unsettled region. We don't know what's going to happen. Someone, I can't remember who it was, in the last 2 or 3 days, suggested to me the thing that well, I mean, it's kind of like logically springs to mind that they may do the festival around the world in different
That would be
chunks.
cool. That would be
Because
even
then,
better.
yeah, when the nest is attacked, you know, you've got other nests that you can go to
Right,
or other ports that you can go to. And Habanos started this thing about World Habanos Days a few years ago. I don't quite know when they
right,
started this, but in recent times, where they do events, or they did a major Trinidad launch in not 2005, 2004 in London. That was World Habanos Days. They've done one in Phoenicia. In Cyprus with Phoenicia. They did one recently for the Punch. So they are doing this thing of, you know, events around the world, which might
right.
be the way that the Cohiba 60th anniversary eventually gets launched.
But, you know, it. I don't know. Here's how I look at this whole thing. It's all, and not to the Cuban people. So whatever the issue is, isn't there? They have to do that. We talked about this last week with AJ.
Mhm.
There's U.S. Congress passed the Helms whatever Act in
Oh,
19.
and by the way, don't forget, for anyone watching, last week we were on the cusp of this. In fact, we were doing the
Yeah,
show, and about an hour and a half, 2 hours later,
right.
the event got the
The
Habanos
event
Festival
got
got postponed.
canceled.
So it
Right.
was all conjecture at that point. So we're
Yeah.
kind of doing a sort of like a follow up
Recap.
to that
Yeah.
right now.
And
Yeah.
it got canceled because of our show. We understand that because we're very powerful. You just don't know that. You knew
My
people.
my my my, my recall is fairly upbeat. I said one way or the other something will happen. So I've been proven wrong.
Well, that is very, very true.
I'm
You
happy
are
to
correct,
admit.
sir.
So those
No,
who
but I
are
mean,
in Cuba,
it's just very interesting. Um, we're worried about the cigars and the this, and Usman and his friends are going to travel and they're going to be crusaders
No,
and
others
yada,
have
yada.
already gone. Others have already gone.
No,
People
no, I
like
get that.
Justin have
But
gone.
but my point is, I see like what the videos they're trying to shoot there, and I'm like, okay, but really, get your head out of your asses. The Cuban people are going through a plight, and you're worried about a fucking cigar thing? Come on.
That's just it. That's just it, Stephen. Is we are being told, not being told. I think there is an element that believes that it's not as bad out there as we are being told that it is. That's one.
Okay.
And there's a lot of spin that's discouraging people from going to Cuba and engaging in tourism, etc., etc., etc. Right? I think the only way to confirm these things is to speak to the locals. Really,
Right.
if we are lucky enough to speak to locals, people who've been there, and actually even speaking to some people that we know, I don't need to go into names, that were there at the time, and then perhaps even they have mixed messages, because what I get from them is they really want something to happen, but also it's not happening. And so there's no end of goodwill. The goodwill is all there. It's just the logistics and haven't worked. And as I agree with you, cigars may be a very important thing for people who are in the cigar industry, right?
Right.
But as far as I have seen, tobacco production in Cuba is like 1, 2, 3, fourth or fifth most important part of the economy.
Right.
I think I just got a message from Asia. I can't read it, but because I'm on the phone.
Yeah. AJ, if you want to come on, send me a text message and we'll put you on. But here's the whole thing. Once again, for a big part of the world, cigars are nothing. So if we look at this as humanitarians, yes, the Cuban people are having a plight. The U.S. is blocking them for whatever reason. No one from the State Department will come on when we ask them to explain it to us, because I'd really like to understand it. And I know we're brash, but I mean, like, we could be nice for 30 minutes while someone from the Department of State would say, here's why we're blocking it. I would just love somebody without a political spin to come on and say, this is why there's an embargo against Cuba. This is why, if you will, you can't bring Cuban cigars to America. This is why we can't give them humanitarian aid. This is why is that? What is Cuba doing to us that's so terrible right now? They pissed us off in 1960. I don't get it. It's communism, great. So is Russia. We dealt with them when Reagan and Gorbachev got together. We dealt with them. We deal with China. As far as I know, China's supposedly communism, even though they're big capitalists. Hey, Panda, shout out to you, big guy. Chow, Jing, the guy. Very close. But I'm just saying, he watches the show. He smokes cigars. But I just don't understand it. And I really would like somebody that has a clue to come on one day and say, here's why X, Y, Z. Not like this guy, because you would rather buy drugs. I don't understand what that means. So thank you for that. So I really want somebody to come on from the Department of State and say, here's why we can't trade with Cuba. Here's why we can't do humanitarian aid. I'm
convinced that one of the people commenting on here is the waiter that I had an argument with 3 weeks ago in Coach Brasserie in Soho. We didn't get on well. I think that's him.
Really?
He likes to, yeah, because he was a bit of an ass. But,
what was the food though?
But the food was shit. That's why I had the argument with him. But I'm convinced that's the waiter.
Gotcha. Which one is it? The Schmuck or the Wayne?
One or the other.
Could be both.
I love that. And actually, what I like is people have little gripes, or people, they're photographers, but they want to pretend as if they're journalists in the cigar world, and they're a bit, they're short and dark and whatever. They really don't have, any other forum, so they come on here with sort of made up names and write comments to me.
Well, AJ is on, just so you know, AJ is watching live on Instagram. So AJ, how you doing? So AJ, if you have any comments, I can put them there and I will read them out to everybody, or you can just send me on WhatsApp. And there you have it. All right.
So the other thing, go on.
No, go ahead, please.
Well, what I was going to say, conversely, on the fact that well, there you go. This is it. This is what I see again, fake Tate. Who wants to be this Tate? I mean, I get this quite a lot. I don't know if anyone realizes that I'm double
Older.
of the Tate's ages. I don't know if people understand that.
Probably not.
And we have a show that if you don't enjoy it, you can do something. You can fuck off, basically. Right?
There you
Yeah.
go.
But if you want to prod and poke, and if you are one of those people running around in the cigar industry trying to make a name for yourself, but find that the best way of doing it is to slag other people off, then this is the place for you.
Come on the show. We'll slag you
Lukewarm,
off. That sounds fun.
lukewarm IQ.
Yeah.
Very
Oh, very
good.
nice.
Yeah,
So I
that's
thought
very good.
that's very nice. I know Luke, and he does have a warm IQ. He's a very nice guy. Okay, so anyway, enough
I
about
obviously
Cuba.
pricked something there because the prick reacted
Oh,
back.
prick
You
would be
see?
good.
Yeah, I think that is
Anything goes.
someone that I know. I think that is a complete no-bin that for some reason will hide behind something. If you want to say something, you're more than welcome to come on the show. We're open for that.
There we are. Okay, so let's go to something else other than Cuba. I'm sorry
Well,
for
this is
all
what
the
I was
people.
going to say. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was going to say. Conversely to the stuff that's not happening, the stuff that is happening
Yeah.
has been Pro Cigar, which happened the whole of this week. So
I
in
thought
the
it's still
Dominican
going on,
Republic.
if I'm not mistaken, because we had a gentleman on Instagram last week that owns a cigar factory, who I DM'd, and he DM'd, and he said, "I want to come on this Saturday." I said, "Great, send me your contacts." So I'm still waiting for his contact stuff, but he said the pro thinks I think ends today or tomorrow, actually.
My recollection is it ends on Friday, but they've kind of changed formats throughout the years. It could be
Right.
there's still an event. Normally, I went to it 3 years ago, 4 years
Okay.
ago. I went to it in 2022, so that's 4 years. My God, time flies.
Yeah.
And it's always evolved a little bit. Great people, great events, great parties, slightly average cigars.
That's because they're New World and don't like New World cigars.
It's not that they're all the same. I'm being honest with you. I promise you, they're all the same. 99.9% of those cigars, they have different bands. I see it really essentially as all these rich and powerful tobacco farm owners to get together and have multiple photos with each other and project to the industry. They're quite rich. I don't think they can do much bigger business than they're already doing. And this is basically a showcase. They all know each other. I mean, if you watch the social media and all the parties, they have the famous white party, which is on the monument building. It's beautiful, beautiful party. Great events.
I know
Great events, great
the
people.
president showed up at the Dominic because I watched someone send me a video of him showing up, and he was dressed like, a virgin. And then Madonna came out and sang. AJ says that the event ended yesterday. So you are correct, sir. It ended on a Friday.
Yeah. So, beautiful. I mean, it's all, to some extent, all of these events are dressage, right? Yeah.
Right.
The product, I think the product gets lost. I mean, you go to these parties all about laughing and enjoying and drinking and smoking and taking fabulous photos. It's great. I mean, that you need to have these events, right? The product is lost.
Yeah.
And Pro Cigar, the one great thing about Pro Cigar,
Right.
specifically, are the events that start like the moment you get there. You have a nice reception, then you have event day 1, event day 2, and then throughout the days you have these sort of field tours and factory tours. And how many fields and factories are you going to see? I mean, once you've seen 1 or 2 maybe, then you understand the concept of how leaves are grown and they're dried and they're fermented and they're packaged and they're shipped and they're rolled and stored and all that. I mean, you've understood the process, you've seen it. And it's just one event, one place or another place.
But that's kind of like the Habanos Festival too. I mean, granted, the Habana Festival, because of what it is, right? It's different because it's like, how do I put it? You're going to the going to the forbidden planet. I'm eating the forbidden fruit. I'm going to Cuba. Ooh. And then, there's only so many tickets and it's this and it's that. Where the Pro Cigar, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, is like, yeah, everybody come hang out. And everyone's like, okay.
Well, Pro Cigar very specifically, because I've been to it, is very US centric because it's very easy for people to fly into Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
No, I guess, yeah. I've always heard mixed messages about this. Of course, you can travel to Cuba, but the Dominican Republic has developed, that event has developed specifically to aim to a US audience. Most of the people, I would have thought 75% of the attendees at Pro Cigar are from the USA.
Okay.
But here's what both events, and I haven't been to that Habanos Festival. This would have been my first, but as much as I've seen on social media, all events
Right.
have some form of excess to them beyond, and you can enjoy that from time to time, and it works from time to time, and it's a great marketing uh, um, event, etc., etc., etc. Right? But
Right.
then the product is lost. I mean, it's totally lost as far as I'm concerned, right? Yeah.
Right.
And it's no longer about the product. It's all about these big humidors and how much you can bid for them and how much money can be moved from here to here in terms of,
Right.
however you want to call that, uh, uh, there's some negative words I could use, there's some positive words as well, right? Okay. But this is big money movements, this is big
Yeah.
business. And in that, you have to create a bit of a show and a spectacle.
Right.
And that's what they do. But I find that, it's kind of samey after a while. It's just
Right.
samey.
Well, they're all.
Same people.
It's if I may, it's like when Cigar Aficionado has their big smoke in Las Vegas, right? It's the same thing. I mean, it's 3 days. It's very nice. You get a bunch of free cigars. You get, a steak breakfast dinner. You smoke cigars. You listen to some lectures. Blah. It's after a while. To your point, how much of this am I going to go and listen to? It's like you've been. And the Habana Festival, I get it. It's a wonderful thing. You get to see people from all over the world that you see once a year. But to a point, now, if I'm a retailer and I sell Cuban cigars, I have to go. I get that. Or if I'm, the guys that do the mafia job there in London, the wholesaling guys, Hunters and Frankel, right? I get why you have to go, right? You have to you have to be like, we're here. But for the average person, if you go once or twice, okay, you've gone. Now what? You want to just keep saying you went. There's got to be more to life than you. That's the one event that like makes your day forever and ever and ever.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think one of the great things to do is go to one, maybe two events in a year, and kind of like different ones, so that there is a little bit of variety. I mean, it's to do with location as well. I think I
Right.
missed out on going to the Cyprus event last year. I really regret that. I should
Probably.
have gone to that. But really, like, as people who enjoy smoking, we enjoy cigars. You know what? We don't really class ourselves as I don't class myself as in a high-end smoker or anything like that. We make our own company, we make our own events wherever you
Right.
go, they say Papa was a Rolling Stone, wherever he laid his hat was
Right.
his home. So
Yep.
that's what it is. You can make
Yeah.
your company anywhere. You can have a
Yeah.
party anywhere. You can, enjoy your cigar smoking anywhere.
Well,
Any cigar, anytime, any
yeah.
place, which is one of my friend's mottos. That's what makes you a proper cigar smoker.
All right. Well,
If that is the motto, then maybe I might be a proper cigar smoker. It might not be any
okay.
cigar because we
I'm
serve
trying to
time.
put something in from there we go from AJ. So it won't let me. So I had to abridge it. So Riza, he says each plantation does something different. When you're in love with a cigar tobacco, it's always lovely to learn. I agree with that
No,
1,000%. I agree
of
1,000% with that.
Of course, you will go to every single plantation.
Yeah.
Every plantation owner or manager will give you an amusing story or bunch of
Right.
stories and a history and a methodology, and we do it this way, we do it that way. And for someone who's an industry insider, I guess AJ, as a technician, and there are others like that, they are obsessed with the detail,
Right.
and that gives them a much, much more greater appreciation of that product. I'm not taking, in any sense, taking away from that. People like me who are very shallow and we have lukewarm IQs, yeah. People like me, yeah, we like to
Right.
just smoke a nice cigar and from time to time, walk the fields from time to
Right.
time, understand. But the basic processes are pretty much the same with nuances. You can't say a Ferrari is built the same way as a Toyota. Having said that, they go down a production line. It's metal, it's
Yeah.
plastic, it's carbon fiber, it's engineering. The
Whoa.
basics are it.
Toyota doesn't have any carbon fiber. Let's not even confuse that. It's
Sorry?
plastic. I said
Sorry?
Toyota doesn't have Toyota doesn't
Well,
have carbon
they've
fiber.
started doing it on some of their
Oh,
models, some of
oh,
their
okay.
racier models. So
All right.
anyway, I'm saying the main ingredients are the same. It's and I think I can't disagree with AJ at all. You see
Right.
in the details where you see the differences, and he's absolutely right about that. I'm not gonna. I can't argue about everything. He's right about that. But the thing is this: it becomes a little bit tedious after a while. The same people, the
Right.
same fucking smoke, the same cigar, the same. Oh, this is the best cigar I've ever smoked. Well, how would you know that? Yeah, you think there's apples and apricots in this cigar? There isn't. It's
Right.
just tobacco. Um,
And then someone else just asked, what is happening in Cuba this week after the Habana Festival is canceled? Unfortunately, my friend, we do not know.
I don't think anything is happening from your feedback, Stephen.
Yeah.
The cigar rabbi Joshua Cohen even says that the
Masterclass being canceled.
masterclasses aren't happening.
Yeah, he said
They're
the
not.
masterclass was canceled. And I
If
was
these
like,
things
okay.
are not happening and these things aren't happening, they're not happening because
Yeah.
people don't want them to happen. They're happening because the
Right.
logistics don't permit it.
Well, and
There's
that's it. Now,
clearly
Southwest Airlines, as far as I know, is still flying to Cuba out of Tampa and Miami. So apparently they're airlines. And for them, refueling isn't a problem because, it's a 35-minute flight. So they go and turn around.
Yeah, I'm actually looking
So,
forward to the feedback that I'm going to get from people like Usman and others who I have gone or are about to go.
okay.
I hope they have a safe journey there and a safe journey
I agree.
back. And I'd like to know what experience is, because it would be very, very annoying to hear that when they went there, it was all cushy and comfy and fine.
Right.
And that will be that to some extent, we were robbed of an experience. Well, I say that very selfishly, right?
Right.
Robbed of an experience, but there's always a next time. I'm sure at some stage, life permitting, health permitting, we'll end up in Cuba for some sort of festival. I hope it happens. If it doesn't happen now, I hope it happens later in the year. If it doesn't happen later in the year, I hope they make
Next year.
an event out of it this time next year. Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Well,
they do have very, very good ability and network to do this, kind of spread it out around the world.
globally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be better, actually. I mean, yes, to AJ's point, going to a plantation is wonderful because you get to watch them beat the people. And oh no, I'm sorry, that's only here in the U.S. Anyway, no, but I mean, going to the plantation to learn is a wonderful thing. Like, I think I agree with that 100%. You always learn something. It's always nice to meet the people. I get that. However,
I suspect this like goes to different vineyards.
yeah,
I think it was
well,
Jean-Marie who described it to me that
yeah,
cigars and wine are very
it's the
interrelated,
same.
right?
It's
Yeah.
the same. It's the same thing. But my point
Yeah, I
is,
mean, it's the
though,
same bloody grapes growing out the same ground,
right,
but it's not exactly. One vine is different to
right,
another vine. The terroir is different, the soil is
right.
different, the climatic conditions are different, and the product that ends up in the bottle is
Right.
slightly different. I mean,
Now, Cigarland says smoking a cigar in the same climate where it was rolled, an important experience. I agree with that.
I've heard that from several people. Urs,
Yeah,
hi, how are you? That's what I was looking forward to. I was looking forward to, actually, on a personal note, like
yeah,
smoking in Dominican Republic, the cigars weren't that bad. I mean, they were fine. There was nothing like, oh, this is outstanding, but
right,
there was some symbiosis with the air and the cigar,
right.
and it just kind of, how about this? It just, the cigars went down more smoothly, I guess, because they're kind of like, even if they're fresh, they're still within the same climactic conditions as
Right.
Urs suggests, right? So I'm sure that's what Cuba would be like. A lot of people have said that smoking a Cuban cigar in Cuba, freshly rolled, has its own feeling to it.
Yeah, but is that because you're in Cuba or because it really does have its own? It's
Well,
like,
no, it's freshly rolled, so I would imagine that there
well, no, I get
it's
that, but once again, you're. I'm not taking anything away from the Cuban cigar experience or a Dominican or Nicaraguan. So send all your hate mail to Usman. Anyway, what I'm saying though is it's the
it's
romantic. It's
psychosomatic. It's sort of
right.
like
It's
your
romanticized.
brain,
I'm romanticizing something. It's like when I go to Scotland and I
and there's
go
nothing wrong with
for
that.
right. No, no. When I go to Scotland, I go to the distilleries, whether they like it or not, and I drink Scotch in Scotland. It's just like, ooh, I'm
You
drinking
can
Scotch
have
in Scotland.
you can have a great steak sitting there on your own, And if
Yeah.
you've got a beautiful woman sitting in front of you, you'll enjoy the steak more. I mean, it's the exact same
Whoa,
thing,
whoa,
isn't it?
wait, wait,
Right?
wait,
Yeah.
wait. Is she going to be
I mean,
talking?
after the arguing and the
Oh,
pain and
okay, yeah, because if
and
she's talking, no, you're
all-
not going to. There's no way you're going
after
to
all
enjoy
those
it.
things,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah.
still
After
enjoy the
she's done
steak
with
more.
everything, okay, then I'll enjoy it. But yeah,
Sweet
don't get me
relief.
wrong. It's like, oh my god. So yeah. So sometimes sometimes you just want to have your cigar, your scotch, your steak, whatever it is, alone. It's just nice. It's something about peaceful, quiet. It's perfect.
I think you have
And
to you have to experiment and try all your different experiences.
I agree.
If you want to get to know a cigar or a particular vitola or
Right,
a particular brand, smoke it a few times, smoke it on your own, smoke
right.
it in company, smoke it indoor, smoke it outdoor, smoke it whilst you're talking, smoke it.
Yeah.
That's how you get to know. And some of the older cigar smokers, more established, the real ones, the
Really? Oh,
actual
JM.
the actual so they would never call themselves this, but this is a word that Hemingway
Ooh,
uh,
look
used
at
many
you.
times. I read a lot of Ernest Hemingway. One of my favorite books by Ernest Hemingway is Death in the Afternoon, which is about bullfighting. So these
Right.
terms are used. I'm not a Spanish speaker, and I'm not talking about Spanish people, so I'm going to use these words carefully. Aficiones, which is the sort of people who are complete fans of
Right.
bullfighting, and aficionados,
Right.
which is sort of the males, and the aficionados, the female. People who describe themselves as these things invariably aren't, but if people get described as that, then that's a compliment that you're paying them.
Yes.
Anyway, who am I to know what these things actually mean? It's this word that I kind of like poked at a few days ago, hermano, right? Hermano. So hermano means some form of brotherhood or brother
Right.
in Spanish, but it has a much, much deeper meaning. As a Cuban friend of mine here in London told me, it has a very, very deep meaning. You don't use it willy nilly. You don't just meet someone and call them my brother. I mean, you might
Right.
do
Right.
that in English, and you might do that, in certain contexts. But this hermano has a very, very deep meaning that requires a huge amount of merit, and you don't use it sparingly, right? Okay.
Right.
So I'm very cautious about this, cautious about using certain words in this very, very
Since
sensitive
when?
industry.
Since when are you cautious about using words?
Well,
Seriously.
the thing is, I'm cautious about using words that other people just throw about very, very easily as if, like, oh, I'm an expert on this, or I'm an
Oh, okay.
aficionado, or I'm an aficionado. That's my favorite new one these days,
Right.
aficionados, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is another one, hermano, which, yes, what non-Cubans and non-Spanish people use it amongst each other, basically to ingratiate themselves with a culture that they have a lot of love for. And there's nothing wrong
Right.
with that, right? But then it gets a little bit carried away. It gets a little bit
Yeah.
too much, it becomes part of people's vernacular.
Well,
Anyway, that's my comment. You don't agree with me, don't agree with me. But that is the
I
way it is.
I
That's how I
didn't.
see it.
I just listened to you because I'm fascinated that you speak English. That funny English that you guys
Even
speak.
that's my second language.
I
But
know.
this is due to a lukewarm IQ.
That's very true. I have to
This
say it,
is
but I
due
will
to a
say
lukewarm IQ.
from one of our fans when we were talking about women, he did say she must be mute and then we can talk. So yes, that's the
Or
perfect
really
girlfriend or
beautiful.
wife.
Or
Oh, really?
really beautiful.
She still needs to be mute. I'm sorry. During dinner, I want to enjoy my food.
For
I don't care about
decoration
anything else.
purposes, decorative
Yeah.
purposes,
And
yeah.
if that's and if that's the
No, I
case,
mean, Stephen, I think
what?
that's highly misogynistic on your
That
part. I
is
mean, I'm not
so
like this.
misogynistic. And can I tell you, I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
I think there has to be a realization that we live on planet Earth in
I'm sorry.
2026,
We do.
and we exist, or there is some
Yeah.
form of reality associated with that.
Sure.
It's very ethereal, but it is what it is. Sorry,
Yeah.
warm IQ can't really use big words without knowing the meanings. Um,
Oh my God, this is going
lukewarm
to be a good
IQ.
show. Lukewarm. No, he said it was
Lukewarm
lukewarm or
IQ is better
warm.
than
I don't
having
know.
an
I feel like I
IQ,
want.
which is my shoe size, right?
There you go. But no,
Um,
I listen. I joke. I love women. I do. You just want them sometimes in small doses because sometimes they're just they may be beautiful, they may be smart
well,
or entertaining, but they're a
I
pain
was
in the
merely
ass
using that
sometimes.
as an example of, I was using that as an example
Okay.
of eating something and having great company,
Well,
and
sometimes I do that
invariably,
too. Yeah.
it doesn't have to be. It can
Yeah.
be anyone, and anything that enhances your experience.
Right.
we were talking about psychosomatic approach to smoking in Cuba or Dominican Republic. Sometimes you can have a romantic notion of, hey, this is where the product came from, and I'm really enjoying it. And it may be the same product that you smoked in, in a London tobacconist, right?
Sure.
It may not be of the same quality. It might be fresher, but that romantic idealism takes your experience to a high level. And that's fine. You kind of kid yourself into thinking it's better than it is. But that's cool. That's what life is about generally anyway.
The only two London tobacconists that you would smoke at is number 1 Cavendish, number 6 Cavendish. Sorry,
number
AJ.
1
Number
Cavendish.
6.
When did that?
Number,
open?
he has a new store.
Was
It's
that
called
like across the square?
It's across
the
from
other
number
side?
6 Cavendish.
Number
Yes,
one.
number one.
I think you should
number
mention
one
number
Cavendish.
1 Cavendish to the owner of number 6.
Yeah, number 6 Cavendish. AJ,
Number
we're
6
competing.
Cavendish.
You didn't know.
Number 1
Number
Cavendish.
6. I'm
I
sorry.
think that's
It's
just
never
tripped
yes.
out. His equity fund is doing so well that he's
That's
bought
right.
number 1 Cavendish.
He bought number 1, and then
Number 1
he's going to
Cavendish,
do
and it
number
was in
2,
his head
number
and
3,
didn't know
number
how to get
4.
it out, and it just
There
came
you
out.
go. But anyway, the cat's out of the bag. No, number 6 Cavendish, of course, if you're going to smoke in London, or Tom Toms. I'm helping you, plug all your friends right now.
Oh,
Anyway,
there's so many other great places.
those are the only two that I know.
I can't think of them right now, but they are
we're
all
good.
there.
Listen, not that AJ needs our help, but anyway, no, I mean, and I have to tell you.
No, I mean, there's all these places on St. James's that are
listen, calm down now. So.
there's going to be more around St. James's.
Oh, really?
On Pall Mall. There's a cigar shop, cigar boutique opening up on Pall Mall. I wonder why it's called Pall Mall. Well, actually, it's called Pall Mall because of Palemaille, which is a French game, a bit like croquet, that used to be played 350, 400 years ago in the fields where Pall Mall is now.
Sure.
So, lukewarm IQ.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I don't want to say anything to you, Luke, while you're going off on your thing, but Cigarland says the quality of the air, the humidity, and the temperature are important factors that influence the taste of the cigar when smoking. I agree 1,000%.
I think truly to enjoy a cigar, truly to not enjoy it, to understand a cigar, I really think you have to smoke it on your own.
That I like. Can I tell you?
You have to smoke it on your own. You have to smoke it indoors, and you have to smoke it in your own time.
Yes. Some of the best smokes I've ever had been by myself. Some of the best sexual experiences I've been by myself too.
Well, this is due to necessity and being forced.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying the whatchamacallit is but it really, sometimes you just want a cigar and just enjoy, right? I mean, it doesn't. I don't need to be with people. I just want to do it by myself. I just want to light up.
There's a question for you, Stephen. There's a question for you because the word gentleman has been invoked.
A gentleman.
Can I ask how many?
Someone stepped in.
You gentlemen smoke per day. So I wouldn't presume that I'm a gentleman. How about you, Stephen?
When we were allowed to smoke at the office, I would smoke 6 or 7 a day. Now I smoke 1 or 2 when I get home at night. And then on Saturday, Sunday is Cuban and Dominican and Nicaraguan cigar day. So I'll go anywhere from 4 to 6 on Saturday and 4 to 6 on Sunday. So, yeah, because the laws where we are, and apparently on the yacht, like I said, because of the aviation fuel, the helicopter, they're worried about explosions, pussies, all of them. So we have to smoke elsewhere. So there you go. But yeah, I love smoking cigars. It's the best thing in the world. It keeps me calm. It helps me think. And it just puts me in like a trance, which I actually love.
So because AJ is messaging, AJ, undoubtedly, right? Your place is one of the great sampling lounges, but I found a place, not a sampling lounge, not a tobacco merchandise. I found a place in London where, if the weather permitting, it's a very ideal place. It's a small is it medieval? I think it's a small medieval alleyway in Hampstead called Flask Walk.
Man,
I sit there in the sun on that exterior table, and I smoke. And I've smoked with a few people. It's a bit of a private place. I go there with everyone. But I found smoking there, you have people walking by, but you're kind of on your own. You're smoking, and people are smiling at you. They really love the fact that you're smoking a cigar out in public. And I have had some absolutely, am I allowed to use French words? I've had some fucking fabulous experiences.
Fabulous is definitely a French word. Yeah. Fabulous is a French word. I know.
So I was going to keep it secret, but even though I said it out, I doubt anyone's going to turn up there in a hurry, right? But that's a great place to smoke. Great place.
Today, when you go there, 900 people will be waiting for you.
The weather's not in London. You know what the weather's like, but
Yeah,
in
it's true.
summer, there's a few days. Well, summer is a weird concept in the UK. It can
Right.
be from May all the way through to September, 1 or 2 really warm days. But as long as the weather's calm,
Right.
it's a great place to smoke. Great place. Great place.
Yeah,
You have your coffee, you got your sandwich, you got your cigar, and posh people walking by looking at you.
Yeah, but you know which is sad. I miss how do I say this? Oh, I don't give a fuck, so I'll just say it. I miss the fact that they don't let you be gentlemen or ladies and smoke a cigar anymore after dinner. So tomorrow, because yes, it really is my birthday today, and I'm 17 billion and one for everyone that wants to know.
How old are you?
17 billion and one. I was here before the earth cooled. I was here when there was the void. It was me, 3 other guys. And then I'm still here. And I drink, children's blood early in the morning, and it works out well. But anyway, tomorrow we're going to go to a restaurant and where they do let you eat and smoke cigars. And it's where we go, a group of us every Sunday, because it's like gentlemen. We can have a big steak dinner. We go for lunch, so we have a big steak lunch, and we can sit there for 3 or 4 hours, smoke cigars. The staff doesn't care. The management loves it. And it's just one of those things. And when people walk by, some of them will say, it reminds me of my father or my grandfather. In my case, it reminds me of when the dinosaurs were around. Whatever it is, and it makes them smile. There's just something about a cigar. And since my first puff, a million years ago, I'm just one of those things.
Before cigars were invented.
Before they were even invented, I enjoyed them. It's like a 2,000-year-old man.
Dried twigs.
I was drinking rolled up leaves. We didn't know what to call it until somebody came and said, "Hey, there's cigars." I was like, wonderful. But I mean, it's just that. It's just one of those things. It's just, I don't want to say it's not even a guilty pleasure. It's just, you either love it or you don't. I don't smoke. Before we did this show, as you know, I smoke cigars. I would never post anything. I would smoke great cigars. I post them now because I have to, because you and Royce told me I have to. And I post them. But before that, I would smoke my cigars, and it's the enjoyment of the cigars. Now, yes, I'm very happy that I get to share them with the fans, for lack of a better term. And that's just a magical thing. And that's why I like it.
Well, to tie in with what you're talking about, eating and smoking, KD Warak 4754 has just something that hits my heart as well a little bit. Yeah, he likes eating sandwiches and smoking and eating and drinking. And something, this is something I don't do enough of. I actually, it's a great experience to have a sandwich.
Yep.
And I'm not just talking about, sometimes you go to a cigar sampling room and they do put a bowl of nuts or something like that. It's fine. I don't enjoy that so much. Right. I want some food. Yep. Some people like to have their food before their cigar, actually, because it kind of like helps them take the cigar nicely. And some people like to eat afterwards. I think it's a great experience to have have a sandwich or snacks to nibble on as you're smoking. I love that. I love that.
I agree.
I totally agree.
No. So like what I'll do, usually what happens now after the show is we have to do all the production stuff, and then I'll go where I go. I'll have some scotch. I'll have a cigar. I'll have dinner later. But tomorrow, and this is where the guys that hang out with me get a kick out of it, and you know this, when they see me, I have my flask, which has been in my Instagram posts, and they'll be like, "Oh, you have your flask," and I'm drinking my scotch from my flask because I'm a functioning alcoholic. And they say, "Is this your first drink?" And I go, "Only from my left hand." So I like to start my mornings on Sunday early with my scotch and cigars. So by the time I get to lunch, I don't know your name, and I'm okay with that. But an AJ or Havana asks me, he says, "Happy birthday! Thank you so much." It says, "What are you going to light up?" I have several Juan Lopez regionals that I'm going to do. And then I have one, and I can't remember the name. It's on my Instagram, but it's a very rare 2024 edition. And I'll have to find it, but yeah, I'm going to smoke that as well. And then to diminish all of that, at some point over the weekend, I'm going to have the Year of the Horse, because it is the Year of the Horse. And I'm going to have what I like, which everybody thinks I'm an idiot for, which is the Florida grown tobacco, the Diamond Crown Tampa. And that's my weekend.
What I like to do on my birthday is open a absolutely fresh box of cigarettes and smoke all the way through them. I find that is the ultimate cigar experience. a nice a shiny box of cigarettes, gold tipped or pearl tipped, and smoke through them.
That's just, I've never smoked a cigarette. I can't even appreciate that.
Oh, well, you're missing out. And then, as a chaser, what you would
Oh
do
God.
on your
Yeah.
birthday is
Uh,
smoke. I think a birthday cigar should be like a large cigar, like a double Corona,
yeah.
um,
Churchill.
or I guess, or a Salamones.
That's a
Um,
long cigar.
My favorite has always been Quava Salamones. I discovered Quava because of this sort of like, double figurado shape. Virtually all Quavas are double figurados. I think there's one that wasn't. AJ will comment.
Here, I'm going to put this up. I'm going to put this up. This is going to be, I'm going to do a close up. I know I hate these. This is what I took a picture of. That's what I'm going to also smoke today. Someone told me they're very hard to get. I was given several. So
So
that
hard to get. You've got one there. So Ramon Iones Edition Limitada
yes.
2024.
See, when you say it, it sounds pretty, like a French whore rolling it off her tongue. When I say it,
Ramon
it sounds like,
Iones.
yes, it sounds, oh,
Got my initials
exciting.
on there. RA.
Yeah, that's why I'm smoking it. But no, so I'm going to be smoking that and a few other things. Yeah, so that's like I said.
So be
For
careful with that one. Be careful
Why?
with that one. That's so we have to even Mr. Patel, even others who are on here. Urs will attest to this. Jean-Marie will attest to this.
Yep.
Christian will attest to this. You have to retrohale it. You have to make sure.
No,
that,
I stopped with this retro hailing. I smoked one a couple weeks ago. It was a beauty. I smoked it like the schlep that I am. It was wonderful. I didn't retro hail because I really don't know how to do that yet. And I
Well,
enjoyed
what you
it
do
tremendously.
is you take the smoke into your mouth, close your mouth, press your tongue up against the roof of your mouth, and blow out through your nose. Simple.
Sounds
Yeah,
like a lot of work.
that's exactly correct. So AJ has taken the bait on that one. Which Quava is the only one not double figurado? Yeah, there is one. I can never remember it because my mind is fixated on the double figurado Quava. So you got the small one, you got the slightly bigger one, you got the slightly bigger one than that, then the bigger one than that, and then the biggest one. That's how I remember my Vitolas.
Ah. And
Actually, I know fuck all about. Sorry, I know fuck all about cigar smoking, other than the cigar smoking part of it, right? Yeah, there. I go through phases where I know absolutely everything about a particular brand, and then I'll go through phases where I forget everything. So go on, Mr. Patel. Which Quava is the only one not double figure out? There is one.
Is there?
There is one, and I can't remember the Vitola. It's sort of I would have thought it is sort of what comparable, sort of like
Not a
I don't
fan
know.
of
Why don't you
retro
get small
hailing.
one, little bigger, then bigger one. What the fuck? Yeah, the Divinos, and then the Tradicionales, and then then you've got Salamones, then you've got the 2000. Yes, I know. It's not LE, it's Edición Limitada, the other way around. You see?
Oh my God.
Come one.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, you mean come on? I don't know, AJ. I haven't smoked it. I have not smoked that one. Or maybe I have. Maybe I was slightly drunk when I smoked that. Maybe.
There's a shocker.
I don't remember. Come on.
That's a news flash.
Give us the answer. Actually, this is a good build-up. This is a very good build-up.
By the way, KD says, not a fan of retro hailing either. It happens on accident, and I don't mind it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to do it. So there you go.
Who said that? Who said this?
KD up here. He said that right there. I'm reading it.
Yeah, but even retro hailing, I've learned something yet. Do the slow retro hail, like slow. Try like almost like holding your breath and letting your breath out slowly.
Okay.
Edition. Oh, it's not Edición Limited. It's not Edición Limitada.
Oh, we're gonna see.
It is
start
Edición
thinking.
Limitada.
I think
I simply don't know the answer. I can look it up, but that's the same as you telling me.
It's the suspense.
The thing is this. I got into Quava Salamones. So I have an interesting story with that. Is I got into smoking Quava Salamones very specifically on the Hyatt Churchill terrace in approximately 2012, 2013. And this is the first time I'd smoked. Absolutely was the first time I smoked a double figurado, at least in memory. Okay. And I thought, hey, this smokes really well. It's a very interesting cigar because the ring gauge is constantly varying. I mean, it has sort of there's a constant and therefore has a different type of smoke all the way through. And I think I spoke to the traditionalists. What the fuck? I'm sorry, zero retrohale, no way to enjoy. Come on, guys. Exactly. So this part I agree with.
Okay. All right. I'll learn to retrohale. This weekend, I'm going to
But then I've
retrohale
forgotten-
my ass off.
But then I've forgotten something. And I'm saying this to AJ, I'm saying this to Stephen as well. AJ, I retrohale every cigar I smoke, I retrohale from start to finish. I've forgotten how to taste the cigar there. Anyway,
Oh, he gave you the
Koala
answer.
Pyramides 2008 it was. I wonder if AJ will agree with me. Yes, AJ agrees. It is the Koala Pyramides 2008 Edición Limitada, or LE as he likes to call it.
Excuse
So
me.
AJ agrees. He agrees that it's the Pyramides.
Finally agrees with you. Oh my God, that's too funny.
I don't recall it as being the pyramid. To be honest, I'm joking. I didn't remember. Yeah, I don't recall it being as the pyramid. Are you sure, AJ? You may have fucked up on that one.
Wow,
Are you
that's
sure
great.
it's the pyramid is?
Well, if you have to retrohale
No,
to enjoy, I'm sorry.
I've heard these things about Mr. Patel that in his age he's sort of like the mind drifts in this
Here we
direction
go.
and that direction,
There we
that
go.
direction.
And KD says, if you have to retrohale to enjoy, I'm sorry. And then he laughs. There you go.
Well, these are just opinions. These are just
All
what
right.
you know. People with a lot of time, a lot of money, they would have to work out different ways to smoke. Sometimes it's better to smoke cigar by putting in your ear and then retrohaling, because you can drag through your ear and you can sort of like get it in your brain.
Do you know what I did last week? Big shout out to AJ, if I may. And then I'll read his comment that he said. I lit my cigar and tried to smoke it without cutting it. No, I lit my cigar.
Oh, did you? Oh, did you?
I did his thing right literally after the show. I was like, I got to try this. So I went outside.
And it made no difference whatsoever.
Away from the helicopter
burnt the
and the
cigar.
jet fuel. And I lit the cigar. I let it permeate. And the guys that were with me thought I was an idiot. And I go, oh no, Mr. Patel says. And then I cut it and I did it. And I must tell you, magnificent. And now that is the way I do it.
I think what you're just doing is you're doing a little bit of a suck up there.
Whoa. If I'm going to suck up, I'm going to say number 6 Cavendish, #1 place in the world to smoke cigars. That's sucking up. However,
#1 Cavendish, did you say?
Number 6 Cavendish. I don't know why I keep saying #1. It's the #1 place. Is number 6 Cavendish.
All
right, see, I can't suck up.
You got
anyway,
a secret little business going on.
I have a secret business around the corner. I didn't want to tell AJ. But anyway, number 6 Cavendish, everybody. Anyway, no, I tried it, and then I talked to the rabbi, the cigar rabbi, and he says, "Oh yeah, that's how they all light it in Spain." And I'm like, "Oh, here I thought I was onto some great secret, and everybody in Spain apparently likes it this way." But I will tell you,
I think it's impractical. I think there's an impracticality to it. There's an impracticality to lighting a cigar and then cutting it. Right? Okay, it may enhance your experience by 0.001%.
Right.
But by the time you've lit it, then to get the grip right and without burning the inside of your hand, there's a mild, depending on the length of the cigar, also depending on the ring gauge. I mean, if AJ does it, great. But then I know people who cut their fundadoras in half and smoke it.
Well, that's crazy talk. AJ says if I don't retrohale by the time I get to London, there's no way you're getting a vintage cigar to enjoy. I will retrohale. Don't even worry about that, AJ. I'm going to start doing it today. I'm going to watch YouTube videos, and I will be a retrohaling.
It's very easy to do Jedi mind tricks on, Stephen. As AJ says, it, boom, you do it, right? Yeah.
That's right. It's just the magic word, vintage cigar. And I was like, that's it. I will retrohale. I'll be starting today. So there you have it. So, but no, I thought that was an interesting way. Yeah.
They're little tips. They're little tips of do's and don'ts and what's and nots and right. Yeah. And everyone wants, like, if you've been smoking cigars for the last 30, 40 years, you want interesting ways to cut it. You want interesting ways to light it. You want interesting ways to enjoy it. But ultimately, you gravitate to the thing that works for you. Some people like to have whiskey with their cigar. Yeah. I really do like to have, I don't think my cigar experience is complete without having a Coke Zero next to me. I'm kind of addicted to that, because the little sweetness gives me a counteract to the cigar, and it keeps me going. I'm into sweet drinks, and Coke Zero has been something that, like, not even water. I do not enjoy a cigar with water. Some people say, oh, it cleans the palate. No, I want my cigar with Coke Zero.
All right. See, I'm very much, when my scotch is done, I stick with water. And
some people say I have to have my cigar with coffee, because they're old school smokers. They always, in the morning with their coffee, they'd have a cigar. So that coffee cigar symbiosis carries on. Right. I have to have apple juice with my cigars. Yeah,
that's interesting.
great.
Sure, why not? Yeah. Everybody's got,
on that note, I discovered not last summer, was it last summer or the summer before that? I discovered a great pairing. I mean, what I call pairing. Orange juice, fresh orange juice with a cigar.
Really?
It's fabulous.
Okay.
Yeah, a little metallicness. They get a sort of little iron hit from the orange juice. And that, for me, that works with the leafiness of a cigar.
Very nice. Okay. Well, look what we've learned today.
Thank you.
It's amazing. So now next week, just to let you know, there's a gentleman named David Blanco. I gave him a shout out once on Instagram. He's a cigar guy from I pronounced the name wrong, and I already told you the name, Plaseco. It sounds like a baby.
Plasencia.
That's the people. And David says that he may be coming on next week.
Is he threatening to come on?
He's threatening to come on. The funny part about David is that my buddy who knows him gave me one of his cigars to try. So as a joke on Instagram,
and then you realize, my God,
it's actually, it was a very good cigar, by the way. I actually did one of those, as you call it, Home Shopping Network 30-second things. And it's basically was like, this is the worst cigar I've ever had. How could you smoke this crap? And then of course we said we were kidding, and it was actually very good. So David's supposedly coming on next week. So we're looking forward to that. And I think we'll probably have some other guests that we're probably not aware of. So it'll be an interesting show. So yeah, and yeah, it's kind of nice when people just kind of like come in and out. So I feel like Johnny Carson sometimes. They just show up.
You never did the opening titles for the show today.
I didn't?
No, but you could do them as closing titles.
I have to do opening and closing then. So are we done then? Are we leaving now? Are we saying goodbye to the fans?
Until next week, we have more material.
Okay, well then there you go. Fans, don't forget to subscribe and like. I'm going to do the opening and closing titles all together because I made a boo-boo. So it's my birthday. Who cares? Anyway, everybody, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be back next Saturday. And don't forget, you can get the podcast if you don't want to watch our beautiful faces on Sunday, where we get your podcasts. Or this will be
try and improve on our IQ points before then.
Oh, yeah, our lukewarm IQ. We'll improve on that as well. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. We'll see everyone later. Cheers, everybody.
Welcome to Habanos Saturday, the fastest growing cigar show on YouTube with over 100,000 subscribers. Come join us every Saturday live.